fully gore-popping, infected, raging zombie balls, you guys. 28 years later. Just finished watching this yesterday afternoon in Toronto. Thanks so much, Sony, for hooking me up with that screener. And there's so much to take away from this film, but I'm going to just tell you guys right up front here, go and see the movie. Whether you've seen the first 2 installments of the franchise so far, it doesn't matter. Go and see this movie right now. If you do want a bit of a sense of maybe what to expect from this, as far as expectations go in general takeaway, think of unrelenting, intense violence of Train to Busan mixed in with, say, all of the Hostel films and Saw films combined for their just violent, gore-infested action with the heartfelt emotions of, say, Sweet November and A Walk to Remember. And you start to get a bit of an idea of some of the emotional turmoil and intensity that you guys are going to be bound to take away from this film the way that I did. Man, even right from the opening sequence, we're essentially in a church, and we ultimately see this frenzied collision of faith and heart and blood-spouting suffering, where we get a true sense of this is the fall of humanity, this is the fall of civilization, this is the fall of faith, and a definitive divide as far as what's going to happen next in this post-apocalyptic world. Wow, like there really is so much going on in this. There's so many berserking, raging, infected hellions, all this racing for survival, fear around every corner, with every sound, and rare is a zombie movie that can make a grown man cry, but that's exactly what this film did for me. Thanks to the near heroic performances by Spike, played by Alfie Williams, by his on-screen mom, Isra, played by Jodie Comer, as well as his dad, Jamie, played awesomely by Aaron Taylor Johnson, and a good doctor in here who is played by veteran actor Ralph Fiennes. And through their brilliant performances, as well as those of all their supporting actors, we really do get a sense of this small band of survivors in this post-apocalyptic world that are just so resilient, so strong-minded, but also very freewheeling as well. In that, they realize that they survived. They realize that they just have to have this fun on their terms because they've been forced to survive on the terms of the zombies. And there's a lot of different zombies in here too, which I really liked. We've got the typical slow-moving zombies, the crawlers. We have these fast-moving zombies, and these intense, violent, brutal zombies called the alphas, which really are, if you think back to the berserker days of the Vikings, which they are referenced in here as well, completely fits the bill. They're freaking intense. The next time I'm probably going to see this many, ripped out spines and dead dawns is very likely going to be, well, the next time I watch 28 years later, because I really can't wait to watch this film again, to redigest it, to be able to take away some new perspectives of this film. All right, so while the film does certainly convey this pocket of surviving civilization over in Europe, there are some nuances in the film as well. Well, not even so much nuances. We certainly do get some brief snippets that do describe that there is certainly a larger world that's goes on beyond the borders of Europe that very much is obviously aware of the zombie apocalypse. We don't quite understand how they might be affected, other than the fact that their complete technological civilization has not broken down, as it is for those folks in Europe that some of them have never seen a Frisbee. They don't know what a cell phone is, that sort of thing. But what it does, though, is it opens up, though, because it really does focus on the dynamic of the small family that we have between Spike, his parents, Isra, and Jamie. It starts off with Jamie having to take his young son, much to the chagrin of their mom, Isra, who we're not quite sure what's going on with her. We know something's not quite right, and I love that we're made to kind of guess what's happening. We know that she has some sort of very complex medical condition. So Jamie, who takes his son out to the mainland, there's a little section, if you think kind of Moses part in the sea, there's a sandbar rather that connects the mainland to the beach or the island rather, where these band of civilizations are, and they can only go out on low tide, otherwise they'll get swept out to sea. Not good. So we've got Jamie taking his son over there to get his first kill, and we get introduced to pretty much all the zombies that are going on in this film. We get introduced to these slow, gelatinous-looking, baby-like crawlers. We kind of get the sense that that's just always how they've been. And then we also get a sense of some other zombies that are not so slow crawling. They're the fast zombies. And we also get introduced to the Alpha, these massive, brutal, berserking zombies, very much in the same vein of the berserking Vikings from old lore, which they mentioned that's certainly not by accident that they're designed that way. I'm pretty sure that the next time that I see this many ripped out spinal columns and undead dawns is most likely going to be the next time I rewatch 28 years later, because we get tons of all those things in copious amounts. The film doesn't rest its laurels on just that intensity, shock value, blood and guts kind of thing. And really, if I were to put a pin in what the core of this film is and why it's so transgressive, why I firmly believe that it's not just a zombie film, it's because at the core of all this is true family dynamics and true compassion for each other. And the glue in their relationship is the love that they absolutely have, certainly with the mother-son. I mean, the chemistry behind Isra and Spike, or of course Alfie Williams and Jodie Comer, is nothing short of brilliant. I'm going to get an opportunity to interview Jodie Comer this weekend for Rue Morgue, and I plan on definitely asking her some questions as far as how she got, that just brilliant, honest depiction of not only what she went through with her medical issues that she had, but also, of course, the family dynamics that she established with her son, and this just endearing quality that you have a son that very much has to take on the role of helping his mother in a way that no child should ever have to do. But then you also get the sense he just has such a strong sense of protecting his mom against everybody, including even at times from members of his own family. And this irreplaceable love that the two of them share, despite the complications that try to tear that love apart. That really is the core of this. So I'm really looking forward to chatting with Jodie about that and asking her what she did to prepare for that. I can only imagine there had to have been quite a bit of off-screen bonding, and they just clearly got the right people together for the job here. Guys, get off your seats, go and see this movie. It's not just an amazing zombie movie, as I've mentioned. It really is just a fantastic story that just so happens to be about zombies and has all the gore. So, I mean, all you gore hounds, you guys are going to be happy with this movie. All of you zombie lovers, whether you like the slow stuff or the fast stuff, you're going to love this movie. Folks that are really geared and gravitate towards post-apocalyptic films like I do, you're going to love this movie. The only thing that I would say about this film, if I have any nitpicks at all, is certainly towards the end of the film, there's definitely a bit of a shift into the camp territory. It kind of threw me out of the current lane that I was in. I'm not sure I like that too much. But then as that particular scene, and you guys will see it as it played out, I thought, you know what? This is actually so much fun. This is pretty damn cool. And in a way, it's almost like that Twinkie at the end of the zombie highway, if you will. Sorry, I'm thinking Zombieland. But it was very much like a little treat to kind of take us out of that, and almost like a bit of a washing of all the stuff that we have been through at that point. Maybe like a warm hug. Probably not the best description of it. You guys see it. Tell me what you think. Did it work for you? Please hit like, so that way this will go out to more fans like yourselves, and you guys can check out the next one. And keep it out on the Rue Morgue website for my conversation with Jodie Comer. Thanks so much, guys. See you at the movies. Hope you enjoyed as much as I did.